Welcome to WGK Glass Art, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in the studio. Sandra will be demonstrating how we make our owl. Our owl comes in many different sizes and um, shapes, I guess I would say.
Yeah, we have different kinds of owls.
Yeah. So right now you're going to be doing the small
The
gray
small
owl.
gray owl, yeah.
Okay.
I still have to pull one more rod, but then I can start on the gray owl.
So right now she's basically in preparation mode. There is some preparation that has to go into the owls, or most of our items before
Most
we
of the
start
items,
creating
yes.
them.
Usually it's the rods have a certain length, and for using them, for me it's the easiest to just pull them apart in the middle. That makes it more easy to handle them, really. And also it gives me the opportunity to use the whole thing. So right now I'm just pulling the kind of, you would also call that a handle, I suppose, that's in the middle. And then I split that in two. So that was a brown rod. So what I do is then I kind of turn it around, and then I can start working over here on this end and work all the way up to here and still have a chance to hold the rest of the piece. So I can use most of the rod, really. So that's what I do there.
And a question that we get a lot of times is, how come she can touch the other end of the glass? Why isn't it hot? Because glass
Right.
doesn't conduct heat, so it just heats up on the part that's in the flame.
Yeah, it's a little bit that you have the heat radiation from the flame, that's what you feel, but it's usually pleasantly warm, except it's in the summer and it's hot. Then it's not so pleasant, I suppose, but yeah, that's more or less what you feel. And then it doesn't conduct the heat really well, the material, so it's really not getting that much hotness in there. So it's really like when I heat, making that hot, so it would be hot like up to here, but I try not to go too close to the area where I know it's definitely hot, but the rest is really cold. So it's no problem really. So I'm gonna start making the body in clear. And I can put the gray for the tail on the preheater. I'm getting rid of everything that might be foamy on the tip. That happens, and it's best not to leave it on there because it tends to kind of grow when you work it. Well, it's easier when there's foam already, that it kind of tends to add more foam on that position. So I try to avoid foam anyway, because it's it creates a stress in the glass, and it sometimes leads to breakage, and of course it looks ugly. So you want to have a nice clear and you use that. So kind of moving it a little bit, forming it into the shape that I wanted to, and adding a little bit more material. Here we are. Then I'm adding the tail as with most birds. Body starts first, and then it's the tail. There's a bit of texture in there. little bit of direction. So I want it to smoothly go over from the body. This is as much as the tail goes. We need to hook it up onto another handle, one of my crooked ones. And then we can turn it around and work on the head. What I always do first at this point is heating up the body again, because it needs to be nice and warm, and at the same time I'm kind of changing position if something went wrong between the tail and the body. So it's kind of doing several things at the same time. To heat up the material that I need for the head. Melt that whole blob on there. And also add a little bit more. Looks good. And then for now I just give it a slight touch where I want the eyes to go later on. But this is just kind of marking the spots. It's not more than that. That helps me find the way on top as well when I'm adding the wings. You know, it's kind of trying to decide where I want to go with it. And then I'm adding the wings.
Guys, if you like what you're watching, please hit that subscribe button, the like and subscribe button below. Help us grow our YouTube channel, spread the word about what we're doing here at WGK Glass Art.
To work a little bit more on the wings, gets this feathery look. This is actually a little bit tricky because you want to make sure to not create any stress points in the wing. So that needs a bit of practice. And even for me, sometimes it doesn't work. There you are. So then, of course, it still needs some eyes, and this actually has. Oh, it still needs a hook. This actually has some really interesting eyes. It has these googly eyes that are a bit kind of like a lens. And I personally like that a lot because it makes them look like a bit bigger. This is just plain white underneath, and it always looks a little bit more clear or milky when it's hot, but it turns back to white once it's cooled down. To be careful when I put the eyes, because as I said, with the additional clear on top, it looks like a lens, so it makes it all bigger. So I really have to put small spots on there. It looks bigger anyhow in the end. Clear for on top. There's one. And that's the second. Then as it's still hot, I'm always trying to move it a little bit in a nice shape because it tends to flow up and down. It's something that you can't see on the internet really, but it's something that definitely I can see. That's what I like about the material too, that you can really make it flow in the direction that you want it to. So now it gets its ears right on top. There you are. And it needs a little beak. Let's see. Let's take this one. And with the peak, it's always a little bit tricky to get in between these eyes. So I kind of flatten it a little bit. And then I can squeeze it in. Here you are. Little gray owl. So I hope you enjoyed it. And you can find that little owl in our shop, wgkglass.com, of course. And also the other versions. There is a brown version, there is large versions, small versions, standing ones. What else? What else did I forget?
Miniatures.
Miniatures.
Earrings.
Oh, right, earrings. Right.
Yeah, owl
See, I
earrings,
completely
miniature
forgot.
earrings. Guys, thank you so much for watching our videos and joining us and collecting our creations. Like Sandra said, you can find this owl and our other creations on our website at wgkglass.com. We are also on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. Hope you guys are having a great day. Take care.